Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Nate from Peter Morgan and Associates, and I am your urban financial professional. Yes, professional. Anyways, today and for the rest of the week, I'm going to talk about money management and money management basics. You see, at Peter Morgan and Associates, we do credit repair and financial education, but the method that we use is called ARM. Always repair, restore, and manage. And in order to do that, you have to have the education. So today we're going to talk about Money Management Basics 101. And the first thing we have to do is learn how to budget our money and figure out what we're spending our money on. Now, most people wait every Friday or every other Friday to get that check. And guess what? I can hear it right now. Somebody says, I get paid on Wednesdays, or I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, whenever you get the check, that's when you get the check. But then the weekend comes and you're like, oh man, I got to pay the rent with this check. Oh, I got to pay the car note. And then you find out there are different things that you want to do that you really can't do. Okay, let's talk about that. Let me tell you something. How many of you guys actually have a household budget that you follow every month and bi-weekly? That's 2 of them. Raise your hand. Of course, somebody's going to raise their hand and sit here and watch the whole video. And that's fine. But let me tell you something. If you think you don't have any money, let's try to figure out where the money is going. 9 times out of 10, when people are working, especially in an urban area, do you know that most of your money goes to food and snacks? Oh yeah. We're going to do the $25,000 candy bar this week. I promise you, when I show you later on how much money you spend on lunch, breakfast, and then get saucy and go for dinner, no wonder you don't have any money. I remember when I did my budget one time, I sat there and I was like, oh my goodness. I just spent $300-400 in a paycheck. A paycheck on the carry out next door because I like their chicken breasts. Oh my goodness. Splash some hot sauce on, having a fat boy moment, am I now? But I spent $300 to $400 a check. A check. That means I spent almost $7,500 a year on just the carry out. That's average lunch is about, I don't know, $8 to $10. Then some of y'all like breakfast, another $8 to $10. Now we at 16. Get your snack, throw $2, $3 in there. You spend about $20 a day. Times 5. 100, 400 for the month, about 4,800 for the year. That's if you're buying the bare minimum. So I'm gonna just throw something out there. Think about how much you're spending on that food that you buying. Well, I can't buy the food, no problem. Then when it's time to go see Beyonce and Jay-Z because you in the Beehive, or you think Jay-Z is the world's greatest rapper, you think about that, the food that you eating. Because when you have good money management skill, it's a big difference between sitting on the floor and sitting in the rafters. Big difference. Okay, so how do we do a budget? I'm going to give you guys this real quick. All right, grab a piece of paper. And when I say quick, I mean quick. All right, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to look at your paycheck. You have a thing called gross and you have a thing called net. We'll talk about that later on. What you're looking at is the net because that's your bring home. You're going to do two budgets, okay? 2. All right, so your net, you're going to take the net in the first one, all of them you're going to draw for that pay period. You're going to write down all the income you have coming in. I don't care if it's SSI, food stamps, or whatever it is from your business. I don't really care. Whatever money is coming into that house, you write it down and you add it up. it is going to give you a total. I'm going to use $1,000 as an example. So every 2 weeks, we know that we have $1,000 coming in. Then on the second budget, we know that we're going to have $2,000 for the month. Okay, cool. So let's do the 2-week budget first. All right, in that one, what you want to do is list all of your expenses that have bills due coming up. Not that, you've already paid, but they're coming up prior to the next 2 weeks. So in other words, if your credit card is due on the 25th and you got paid on the 10th, you pay that credit card before the due date. Because when you get paid on the 25th, you don't want to scramble. You want to be ahead of the game. See, the problem is a lot of us don't get ahead of the game. We're behind the curve. Okay? So what you want to do is list everything that you want to pay or you need to pay for the next pay period that is 2 weeks prior out. All right? Then you want to add up all of that. Now, what I want you to do is rank them. What's important? Rent, transportation, food. We know that's the top 3. Then you rank them. So you know what's important and what you can... All of them are important because you created them. But rank them from 1 to whatever. All right? Then you're going to add up how much you owe. All right? Then what you'll do, subtract what you brought home versus what you owe, and you will see what you have to play with. All right? Now, you're going to do the same thing for the monthly budget. But you're going to add the 2 budgets in together. So that way, when you add everything up, that $2,000, you may have a total expense of, say, $1,750 in total monthly expenses. So that gives you $250. $250 surplus for the month. Now, here's something that, if you're really serious about this, I want you, every time you spend money for the next 30 days, here's a challenge for you guys, since everybody likes challenges. For the next 30 days, every time you buy something, everything that you buy, get a receipt and write it down in a book and write down how much you spent for that day. Then at the end of the month, I want you to add it up. Then compare that to what you see in your bills. And you will be totally surprised at how much money you really wasted. Let me give you a quick life hack. Call your bank and see if they have a program where when you use your ATM card, what happens is that they'll take the change and drop it into your savings account. You'll make a ton of money off your savings account. Let me give you a quick credit card hack. Cut your ATM up. If your credit card is below the minimum, what I want you to do is this. Use your credit card like the ATM and then pay it off after the 2 weeks. Not only will that help you in your credit, but it'll get you into a money management habit that you have to think, man, I got to really think about what I'm buying because I don't want to go over on my credit card. I'll go more into that in the next session, but I want you guys to think about that. What I want you to do, list out all your expenses, list all of your income coming into the house, and then you will find out how much money you were actually saving but letting go out the window. Listen, what I want you guys to do, drop me your comments below. If you're curious about getting your credit repaired or you want to learn more about financial education, the link below, I'm going to have somewhere where you can schedule a free 15-minute appointment with one of our reps. I look forward to your comment. Book that 15-minute appointment today.